Good afternoon, my lovely followers. It's your queen, Sarah. And I am back with yet another video for you guys. I meant to make one last Friday. I didn't. I was busy. I got busy. But I'm sorry I haven't been making as many videos for you lately. I've just been incredibly busy with projects and stuff and my writing, because I'm currently in the process of editing my novel, which is almost done. So I apologize for not making videos as often as I would like to. But I am here today to drop another video, and hopefully I should be able to return to my schedule of making a really special video for you guys every Friday, because I do enjoy doing that for you. But anyway, we are here today to discuss a recent disturbing development in the Karmelo Anthony case. And for those of you, I don't think I've mentioned the Karmelo Anthony case before on this channel. I have mentioned it a few times on Instagram, but I have not mentioned it on YouTube, I don't think. So before I go into the news that just dropped today, let me give you a brief little rundown on the situation with Karmelo Anthony and exactly what has happened in this case, or how this case started. So the case of Karmelo Anthony begins in Frisco, Texas during a track meet. Karmelo Anthony was involved in track in high school. He was a high school track runner. And he was at a track meet in Frisco, Texas. And during this track meet, there was a storm. There was a sudden downpour. There was a sudden rainstorm. And Karmelo sought shelter beneath the tent of an opposing team. Because Karmelo just wanted to get out of the rain. Karmelo just wanted to take cover. That's literally all the man wanted to do, was get out of the rain for a few minutes. So he took shelter beneath the tent of an opposing team. Well, evidently, certain members of that team, a certain group of white supremacist bullies, had a problem with Karmelo being under their tent. Even though he wasn't doing anything wrong, and he was just there to get out of the rain, they did not care. These people, insisted that he leave, and physically assaulted him. They physically shoved him and assaulted him and tried to intimidate him into leaving. These white supremacist thugs. And I'm not going to name names of the white supremacist thugs, because I just won't. But for those of you who want to know, you can look up this case. You can look up Karmelo Anthony. I'd highly recommend looking up Introvert Rockstar's channel. He has a lot of great information. I also have a playlist on my channel called Karmelo Anthony is Innocent. I would highly recommend all of you look into that and give that a watch, because it's got lots of good information about the case on there. But anyway, Karmelo Anthony was assaulted by a group of white supremacist thugs. There were multiple boys that were larger than him that assaulted him and were ganging up on him. And Karmelo was forced to defend himself. And during the altercation, he ended up stabbing one of the attackers in the chest in self-defense. And because of that, to make a long story short, the state of Texas now wants to put him in prison. And as of right now, they probably will be putting him in prison, because just before I came out here, literally 10 minutes before I started my walk, maybe even less than 10 minutes, I have just found out that Karmelo Anthony is officially guilty. The all-white jury. I'm sorry, I know I'm messing this up a little bit. I'm leaving out details. But, essentially an all-white jury convicted Karmelo literally less than 10 minutes ago. This poor man is going to end up spending the rest of his life possibly behind bars for defending himself. It's funny. Isn't it funny how when like Kyle Rittenhouse or George Zimmerman kill people, they go free? But when a minority has to defend themselves, all of a sudden it's a problem. All of a sudden, like, oh, they don't have the self-defense rights. Like, it's the same thing. I know this is not part of the Karmelo Anthony case, but there's also a woman in Wyoming, a transgender woman. I know her name was Rihanna. I don't remember her last name. I'm sorry. I posted about it this morning. You can feel free to look it up on my Instagram. This woman that was, just like Karmelo, was attacked by a group of anti-trans thugs. A group of far-right thugs who shouted slurs at her and then shoved her to the ground hard enough to actually injure her. And she pulled a gun because there's multiple grown men surrounding her and assaulting her. So to defend herself, she pulled a gun, and now she's the one possibly going to jail. You see what I mean? Now, I know this video is mainly about Karmelo Anthony, but it could happen to any of us. Anybody who is not a straight white Christo-fascist. This could literally happen to any of us. Like, you either have two choices in this country if you're not white. If you're not a straight white Christo-fascist. Like, you either just accept the beating. Like, if someone wants to physically assault you, you just have to take that, I guess. Or if you defend yourself, you go to jail. Like, yeah, you can have a gun, but if you use it, you go to jail. If you're not a white Christo-fascist. America. Am I right? I'm sorry for that little rant, but I just thought it was necessary because, like, the point I'm trying to make is that we all have, like, we are all oppressed by this system. By this right-wing capitalist system. Like, regardless whether we're black or trans or anybody who is not part of the mainstream right-wing white culture is oppressed in this country. That's why Karmelo Anthony's going to be convicted. That's why he was convicted by an all-white jury. Like the Texas court system, they kicked off all the black jurors. They have an all-white jury that convicted this young man and wants to ruin his life for defending himself. That's what happened. That's what happened with Karmelo Anthony. Like, this young man who was forced to defend himself is now going to lose a good chunk of his life. Maybe even all the rest of his life. And it's bullcrap. It's bullcrap. Like, Austin... sorry. The attackers, the thugs that attacked him, like, they left him no choice. And then the people are going to say he escalated things by pulling out a knife. Like, no, that's bullcrap. Like, when you have to fight somebody that's bigger than you and stronger than you and has multiple people with them, like, that's something that can go bad very quickly. Like, you know how quickly a group of people can seriously hurt or even kill you, like, even with just bare hands? Like, that group of people, those white supremacist thugs, could have gotten him on the ground and seriously injured him. Like, hands and feet can be lethal. Especially if there's a group. If there's multiple of them and one of you, hands and feet can be lethal. So no, I don't think it's an escalation to pull a knife. Like, no. No, that's because we have a corrupt court system. Like, if Karmelo Anthony had been a cop, if Karmelo Anthony had been a white cop and he shot several people, like, he'd have probably got off, you know? Because this rule is for thee and not for me. If you're part of the oppressor class, you're allowed to defend yourself. Like, if you're Kyle Rittenhouse, if you're George Zimmerman, you're allowed to defend yourself. If you're anybody else, you're not. If you're a minority, you're not. If you're a trans woman, you're not. If you're anything other than a white Christo-fascist, you're not allowed to defend yourself. Like, we pretty much don't have the Second Amendment. Like, if you're not part of the right-wing MAGA, literal neo-Nazis, then you don't have a Second Amendment. They're going to put you in prison for defending yourself. Like, the Second Amendment is pretty much non-existent in this country at this point. For anybody who isn't part of the ruling class. If you're part of the ruling class, you can do whatever the heck you want and nobody will convict you, you know? Like, if you're part of the ruling class, then you can be a literal pedophile and be president, you know? You can be a pedophile and be president. But everybody else doesn't get those rights. Everybody else gets convicted, you know? And I'm finally waking up to reality. I'm finally waking up to the reality of this system that we are oppressed by, that we live under. Rules for thee, but not for me. That's what it is. The billionaire class can do whatever they want. They can commit war crimes with our tax dollars. They can diddle kids on Epstein's Island. They can do whatever the heck they want. And nobody gonna give a crap. Ain't nobody gonna care. But one of us has to defend ourselves. One of the minority community. An LGBT person or a racial minority has to defend themselves. And suddenly they go to prison. Like, there's two different sets of laws. It's like one group of people can do whatever they want and never face consequences. And the other isn't allowed basic rights. So yeah, I think I'm going to slowly start bringing this video to a close. I just wanted to briefly talk with you guys about Karmelo Anthony. And also that woman from Wyoming, that transgender woman, Rihanna. I don't remember her last name. I just remember that her name was Rihanna. I posted about her this morning. I'll post her name in the comments when I post this video, so you guys can look her up and support her. Because she needs our support, because we cannot allow her to have the same fate as Karmelo. And we also have to support Karmelo. We got to get this overturned. We got to get this unjust conviction overturned for Karmelo Anthony. Like, that poor young man does not deserve to spend the rest of his life in jail for having to defend himself. Yeah. Alright. I think I'm going to bring this to a close soon. I wasn't looking to make a super long video today. I just wanted to share this update with you guys about Karmelo Anthony. I hope all of you are enjoying yourselves. I hope you all had a good weekend. I know it's Tuesday. I was thinking of yesterday, but like, I know it's so Tuesday, but I hope all of you guys had a good weekend last weekend. I know I did. Thank you for your support. Please like and subscribe and stream and all that streamer stuff. Thank you for your support. And we're off.